Hi everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about a show that I recently finished, of course, because I love talking about shows that I watch, and today I'm going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I have to say this is the only one out of the 3 Marvel shows that are out that I have seen so far. I did not watch WandaVision. I am so sorry. I will watch it soon, I promise you. I feel like I'm obligated to finish shows that I've already started watching, but then there's new shows that I want to watch and then it's like a mess and Anyways, my therapist was like, hey, I watched the first episode and it was really slow, and then he was like, we should watch it together, and so I went and binge watched it in 3 days. And then I showed up and he was like, you watched it all without me? Anyways, yeah, I watched it in 3 days. So obviously Falcon and the Winter Soldier is about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who were both introduced in the Captain America movies. Falcon and Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and the Winter Soldier, who is Bucky Barnes, was introduced in the first Captain America movie, Captain America the First Avenger, I think is what it was called. I think the show was a long time coming. I feel like Bucky was a fan favorite, and I feel like the show was necessary because he was such a fan favorite, and I feel like the show is so necessary because there's so many important conversations that happen because of this show. First of all, we get a lot of conversations about race and racism in this show that I thought were done really, really well. It wasn't like over the top pushing an agenda that like conservatives would get upset about, and I don't mean to like generalize conservatives, but a lot of them do get upset about this type of stuff and feel like it's liberals pushing an agenda on their kids and whatever. But I do think that they handled it well so that it felt less like pushing an agenda that the conservatives would get upset about. So it's like a way that could please everybody and talk about race, and like it's really important to do that. There was some important conversations there about therapy because Bucky was in therapy and he was trying to work through his issues, including like nightmares, which is a common thing that happens from stress. Like I feel like Bucky, not only was he brainwashed, but I feel like he definitely had PTSD, and PTSD sometimes forces you to forget traumatic things in order to help preserve yourself and move on. There is traumatic things that have happened in my life that my brain strategically forced me to forget for like a month or two, and then brought it back up, and it was really intense when I remembered all of it. So I feel like that was sort of happening to Bucky with these like nightmares. So it's like an important way of talking about like trauma and like righting wrongs that you've done and like owning up to your mistakes and dealing with them, and that was really, really well done. I think it's really important. We really need to talk about mental health more, and I'm glad that more shows are tackling that topic. In the DC universe, the episode that I watched of The Flash most recently, they also talked about mental health and like trauma and grief, so I thought that was done really well. They also did talk about grief somewhat in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with the whole like Steve's not there anymore because he's like elderly. I don't know if he's officially died in the universe yet or if he'll like show up as an old guy later. I'm not really sure. And there's also important conversations being happened about refugees and displacement, and I think those are really extremely important conversations to have everywhere in the world. I think like those were what stood out to me. Like the themes were what really like motivated me to keep watching the story, but of course it definitely has like a ton of characterization and like less deep things about it that I really enjoyed. I think that the development of Bucky's and Sam's character, Sam is the Falcon, I think that the development of their characters was done really, really well. I loved getting to see those two interact. I ship them together. I ship Sam Bucky. They act like boyfriends, like in that therapy session when they got super close. That's like couples therapy. Good job, boyfriends. And then when they were rolling in the grass, like I get that it was from a fight scene, I get it was supposed to feel like intense and stuff, but I'm like, they're rolling around like boyfriends. Yeah, fangirl Shauna is back. Shipping Shauna is back. I never shipped Steve and Bucky. Like I feel bad about that, but I never did, but I'm all for Sam Bucky. You really get to see some of Sam's family too, which was really nice. With a lot of these heroes, we haven't seen much of their families, but I was appreciative that we got to see some more of his family. You got to see 2 of his nephews and his sister. I thought that was really cool. They were also dealing with like poverty and stuff, and that was cool to have poverty and money issues being like talked about in a Marvel show that's really popular. Just the basics, let's go episode by episode. The first episode was pretty slow, and I understand why my therapist like sort of lost motivation to finish the series after the first episode. I felt like it was slow. I don't really give up on series. If I was the type of person to give up on series, I might have given up after the first episode because it was a bit slow. It was like good and had really important things in there, but it was really, really slow. And right off the bat, like at the end of that first episode, we get introduced to John Walker. I hate John Walker. I feel like everyone does. The actor did an incredible job to make us hate him, but yeah, I don't like him. Episode 2, the pace picked up. It was really enjoyable. Episode 3, the pace picked up as well. It was really enjoyable. Episode 4, really, really enjoyable and fast. Episode 5, slowed down quite a bit, but it was really important to have episode 5 in order to have episode 6, which episode 6 was an amazing finale to this series. I was crying when that one character died, even though they were technically a villain. I really felt for that character, and that was my favorite actress in the show, and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm so sad right now. I think the introduction of Sam Wilson as Captain America was incredible. I was hoping he'd be introduced as Captain America right away, but I think he really needed to go on that character arc of like discovering himself and discovering what the world needs from him. So I thought that was really, really cool. It was cool to have Sharon back in the universe. Is she gonna be a new Marvel villain? Is she? Because that seemed a little weird. I feel like she might be a Marvel villain now. Also, I'm not crying, I just yawned. But like Peggy would be so disappointed in her. Like, oh my. And is John Walker going to be a new villain, or is he going to be a new hero based on what happened to him in the end? I am not sure. So yeah, these thoughts are like all over the place and I'm really sorry. I don't think we're going to get a season 2 based on the ending of the show, and based on what I've heard, I think we're going to get a Captain America 4, which I think is going to be really fun and really awesome. And Winter Soldier and Civil War were really good Captain America films, so I hope we get like the same writer and same producer and everything as that, so we get an incredible 4th Captain America movie. And I hope we get a lot more Sam Bucky moments in the movie. It has so much potential, it really does. Both of them aren't coupled up right now. Couple them up for us, Marvel. Make them a gay superhero couple, please. Although Marvel's chickens, so they won't do that. Marvel's idea of gay representation is a character with one line in Endgame. Like, give us more, please. So yeah, I can't stop coughing, so I feel like I should go get water and I should wrap up this video. I know my thoughts are all over the place, but like, that's all of my videos about TV shows, okay? Like, I'm always all over the place. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like my rambling thoughts, then feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. If you have seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, feel free to leave your opinions on it down in the comment section below. All opinions on the show are welcome. I can see why people would hate it, I can see why people would love it, and I could see where people could fall in between. Personally, in the spectrum from hate it to love it, I'm a little more towards love it, but a little more towards it was just okay than most Marvel fans. That's really all. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Goodbye!